Hello friends, in this lecture we'll discuss how to find how to find singularities of given function by using Lorentz series expansion. By using Lorentz series expansion. We know that what is meant by Lorentz series expansion. If f has an isolated singularity at z0, then we have the unique representation in positive powers of z minus z0 and negative powers of z minus z0. In this region, and the region is 0 less than mod z minus z0 less than r, where ak is equal to 1 upon 2 pi I integral over c f of xi upon xi minus z0 to the power k plus 1 with respect to xi. And C is any circle with center z0 and radius r, radius which is strictly less than small r. Okay, which is that means that circle should be again inside this disk, inside this. Now this is not this, this is annulus. 0 less than mod z minus z0 less than r is the annulus, right? It is the annulus whose radius is greater than 0 and smaller than r. It is like this, and this is z0 somewhere. So this is your mod z minus z0 less than r. We know that if f is analytic in this annulus, then it can be, and z0 point inside this here, then at which function is not analytic, then we can write that function as a series representation, and series representation is in positive powers of z minus z0 as well as negative powers of z minus z0. We know that what is meant by singularity. Then what types of singularities are there? We know that singularity means the point at which function is not analytic, right? Then it has two types, isolated and non-isolated. And for isolated singularities, we have again three types. One, removable singularity, then pole, and then third, essential singularity. This is the classification of isolated singularities. We know that. What is meant by removable singularity? The function is not analytic at z equal to z0, but limit as z tends to z0 of f of z exists, right? But we are not given direct value of f of z at that point. So in this case, the singularity is called removable singularity. But because we can redefine this function by taking value of f of z0 as limit of this function. Pole means what? If your given function is like this, given function has a singularity at z0 and limit as z tends to z0 of z minus z0 to the power n, f of z exists and non-zero, then we say that the function f of z has a pole of order n, and if not these, then we call it as essential singularity. Now we can observe or we can find what type of singularity is there, whether it is removable singularity or it is a pole or it is a essential singularity by using Lorentz series expansion. Okay. The first part in one, that is the series with negative powers of z minus z0, is called principal part, whereas the second part of the series with non-negative powers of z minus z0 is called analytic, regular or holomorphic part. What means this? F of z is like this, means what? That f of z is nothing but dash 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 1 upon z a, I will write a2, a minus 2 upon z minus z0 to the power 2 plus a minus 1 upon z minus z0 plus a0 upon z minus z0 to the power 0 means we don't want, plus a1 z minus z0 plus a2 z minus z0 whole square and so on. This is infinite. So this whole part containing non-negative powers of z minus z0, that means here z minus z0 to the power 0 is there. Non-negative powers of z minus 0, this part is called analytic part or regular part, and the part with negative terms of z minus negative powers of z minus z0 is called principal part. It's called principal part. Case 1, if series 1 has no principal part, means this part is absent. That means the function which is analytic in annulus, and if we have its a power series expansion in this way, a0 into z minus z0 to the power 0 plus a1 z minus z0 to the power 1 plus a2 z minus z0 to the power 2 and so on. So if this Lorentz series expansion of a function contains no principal part, that is only analytic part, then what will happen? Then f of z becomes like this, only non-negative powers of summation k from 0 to infinity ak z minus z0 to the power k in this analysis. Thus, if we define f of z0 equal to a0 equal to limit as z tends to z0 of f of z. Now, from this, can we obtain limit as z tends to z0 of f of z? Now, this f of z is like this, a0 plus a1 z minus z0 plus a2 z minus z0 square and plus up to plus 1. Now, what is limit as z tends to z0 of f of z? Equal to, as z approaches to z0, this becomes 0, this becomes 0, so every part becomes 0, so we get a0. But we have not given what is the f of z0. Here it is not given. Now we say that let f of z0 is equal to a0, so that function becomes this f of z for z not equal to 0, z0. This, see here, distance between z and z0 is strictly greater than 0 means what? Z is not overlapping with z0. So this function in this way is represented for z not equal to z0, and it is equal to a0 for z equal to z0. If I redefine this function in this way, then the function becomes analytic at z0, because its a derivative exists at z0 as well as limit, means its a derivative also exists at z0, isn't it? And therefore, the function becomes analytic by redefining this function at z equal to z0. Hence, it has a removable singularity then. Limit exists. Limit exists so that we can redefine the function and we can make that function analytic at z0. Therefore, we can say that the function has removable singularity. So first case is that if you are given Lorentz series expansion contains no principal part, this principal part is absent, only non-negative powers of z minus z0 in the expansion, then the singularity z at z equal to z0 is removable. You can remove the singularity. You can remove the singularity. Okay, that is the case only. By using this one, we can remove. Case 2, if one has a finite principal part, suppose that the function has finite principal part. Finite principal part means what? Suppose that your f of z is equal to minus a minus 3 upon z minus z0 to the power 3 plus a minus 2 upon z minus z0 to the power 2 plus a minus 1 upon z minus z0 plus a0 plus a1 z minus z0 plus a2 z minus z0 square and plus 1. If your function is of this type, means what? Negative powers, finite. There are finite terms in principal part. There are 3 terms in principal part. Suppose there is one more term, there is one more term, 10 terms are there. So if your principal part contains finite number of terms, then what will happen? In this case, your f of z becomes z minus z0 to the power n g of z. Why we can write this as this has z minus z0 to the power minus 3 here, I will take z minus z0 to the power minus 3 common, and it will remains a minus 3 plus a minus 2 into z minus z0 plus a minus 1 z minus z0 square and so on, plus a0 z minus z0 to the power 3 plus a1 z minus z0 to the power 4 and so on. And this I have written as a g of z. So in this case, your f of z becomes z minus z0 to the power minus n into g of z, where g of z is analytic and non-zero at z0. It is analytic and non-zero at z0, because if we take as z tends to z0, this has a non-zero part. Okay, so this is non-zero because we get a minus 3 as a non-zero part. Hence, if gz is summation from k equal to 0 to infinity bk z minus z0 to the power k, as it is analytic and not 0 at z minus z0, then we may write fz as summation from k equal to minus n to infinity. This we can write summation from minus 3 to infinity, minus n to infinity ak z minus z0 to the power k, where bn plus k equal to ak. That means where bn equal to a0, that is b3. B here b minus 3 means here b0, this is a0, then b1, b2 and b3 and so on. So what about this gz? I will consider gz as k from 0 to infinity. This is your b0, right? Then b1, then b2 and then b3. a0 is b3. So bn plus k is your a0. We may write f of z in this way, where bn plus k equal to ak, because these coefficients we are considering as bk. The uniqueness is obtained from the uniqueness of g of z. As gz is unique, fz is also unique. The z0 is a pole of order n of f of z. What will happen in this case? If I write this one, that means if I take now limit as z tends to z0 of z minus z0 to the power n into f of z, what it becomes? Limit as z tends to z0 of g of z only. If I multiply this whole term by g minus g0 to the power n, you will get this as minus n plus n, that is its power is 0. So 1 equal to gz, and gz is what? Analytic and non-zero at z0. So it is analytic as well as non-zero at z0. That means what? This limit exists. And we know that if any function f of z has a singularity at z0 and limit at z tends to z0 of z0 minus z0 to the power n into f of z exists and non-zero, then we say that fz has a pole of order n at z equal to z0. So we get that. So it has a pole. Thus, z0 is a pole of order n of f of z, or f of z has a pole z0 of order n. You can write anything. Okay. So if your Lorentz series expansion of given function contains finite principal part, and that finite principal part has n as this highest value, then we say that if 3 is there, then for this function, this has a pole of order 3 at z equal to z0. If this is not there, then remaining function, then f has a pole at z at z0 at z0. F has a pole at z0 of order 2. Now, so what should be there? This Lorentz series expansion, if it has finite number of terms of negative powers, then it has a pole of that order. And if this principal part is absent in Lorentz series expansion of given function, then the singularities, that isolated singularity is removable singularity. If principal part has finite terms, then that singularity, isolated singularity, is called pole of that order. Now only third case is there, no principal part. Number 2, finite principal part, and number 3, infinite principal part. Now, if f has an infinite principal part in the expansion, Lorentz series expansion, then the third singularities happen. That is what? Essential singularity, because limit as z tends to z0 of f of z fails to exist. So there are 3 types. 1, no principal part. Number, then finite principal part, and then infinite principal part. If no principal part, the isolated singularity is called removable. If finite principal part, pole of some order, and if infinite principal part, essential singularity. The singularity is the essential singularity. So these are the 3 cases. So without finding or taking definitions in account, we can find what type of singularity is for given function if we know it's a Lorentz series expansion. If we know it's a Lorentz series expansion. Now we have given these three functions here: f1 of z, f2 of z, f3 of z. Now f1 of z we have given for mod z greater than 0, that is z not equal to z0. This is also for z not equal to 0, and this is also for z not equal to 0. So f1z, now this, as this has a series expansion in which negative powers of z is absent. That means what? Principal part is absent. But we have not given f1 of z at z equal to 0. Therefore, z equal to 0 is the singularity of this function, because we have not given the value of function f1z at z equal to 0. Okay. So it has a singularity, isolated singularity, because other than z equal to z0, 0 is this function is defined, well defined. We can find its a limit. So it is analytic everywhere. Okay. So therefore, z equal to 0 is isolated singularity. Now, what is the limit of this function? Limit as z tends to z0, it is 0. Therefore, if we redefine this function equal to 0 at z equal to 0, then this becomes analytic at 0 also. Not only at 0, but analytic at all points in this here. So in that case, the function becomes analytic everywhere. Therefore, we can remove the singularity at z equal to 0. So this is a removable singularity. Similarly, f2 of z. If limit as z tends to z0, 0 of f2 is what? 1. Limit as z tends to z0, z tends to 0 of f2 of z equal to 0, equal to 1. For first, it is equal to 0. f1, limit of f1 equal to 0 at z equal to 0. Limit of f2 equal to 1. That means exist. Therefore, and principal part absent here. Therefore, f2 has removable singularity at z equal to 0. Similarly, f3, limit exists, which is equal to 0 again. And it is not given that it is not defined at z equal to z equal to 0. Therefore, if we redefine this function, so to redefine this means we have to take it as 1 at z equal to 0. And if I take it as 0 at z equal to 0, then f3 is also analytic everywhere at z0 as well as at other points also. Therefore, since principal part is absent in all these three expansions, Lorentz series expansions, therefore, this every function has a removable singularity at z equal to 0. Every function has a removable singularity as z equal to at z equal to 0. Now we have one more example. Let f is analytic in this disk except 0. Function is analytic in this disk except 0. Suppose this is 0 point. Such that mod of f of z less than or equal to log of 1 upon mod z. For z again belongs to same disk except at 0. The Laurent coefficients an of f are given by, we know that the Laurent coefficients an equal to 1 by 2 pi I integral over mod z equal to r of this f of z upon z raised to n plus 1 with respect to z, because we are finding at z equal to 0, at z equal to 0. So an is equal to given by this. Therefore, mod an, which is less than or equal to 1 upon 2 pi log of, what is f of z here? We have given mod of f of z less than or equal to log of 1 upon mod z. What is mod z? Mod z equal to r. So what we can write? Log of 1 upon r raised to, this is also mod z to the power n plus 1, r raised to n plus 1, remaining integral from over mod z equal to r mod of dz. But mod of dz is nothing but length of perimeter of that this curve. So mod z equal to r, its a perimeter is 2 pi r. So 1 by 2 pi log of 1 by r upon r raised to n plus 1, 2 pi r, 1 r cancels with r, we get r raised to minus n, 2 pi cancels with 2 pi, log of 1 upon r raised to minus n upon r raised to minus n into log of 1 upon r, or this can be written as log of 1 upon r upon r raised to n, whatever it may be. Right, or it is minus log r also, or it is minus log r. When n less than 0 and r tends to infinity, then an approaches to 0. If this r tends to infinity, then whole an approaches to 0. Actually, an is not okay. Negative. N for n less than 0 means what? We are taking negative powers. Means negative, the coefficients of negative powers of z. So if n is less than 0, that means n negative. If n negative, this minus n positive, right? Minus n positive. Suppose this is 100 into log of 100. Log of 1 upon 100, it is like this. Right? 1000 into log of 1 upon 1000. We know that log of 1000, log of 1 upon 1000 is smaller than 1 upon 100. That means log term is decreasing. This is decreasing, decreasing, decreasing. So as this term is decreasing, that means it is approaching to 0. As your r tends to infinity. As r tends to infinity, this term is approaching to 0. This term is approaching to 0. And therefore, an is approaching to 0. And when n equal to 0, if n equal to 0, so we get r to the power minus n as 1, and r tends to 1 from left. Then also log of 1 upon 1 means log 1. Log 1 is 0. So a0 approach is equal to 0. Thus the Lorentz series expansion of f about the origin does not, thus the Lorentz series expansion of f about the origin does not have principal part. That means there is no negative part. In case n less than 0, an is 0, a0 is also 0, so it has no principal part, and therefore z equal to 0 is the removable singularity of f, that function. Z equal to 0 is the removable singularity. Okay. We have next example also. Let f1 of z equal to e to the power z upon z minus 1 to the power 4. Let f of z equal to e to the power z, which is nothing but an into z minus 1 to the power n, an equal to. So we are taking f of z as e to the power z. We are taking one example, f1 of z equal to e to the power z upon z minus 1 to the power 4. We will find what type of singularity at z equal to 1. We know that it has a singularity at z equal to 1, right? And it is 4, means of order 4 is also there, order isolated singularity. Okay, it is not simple, right? Now we want to see what type of singularity is this. That means what? Whether it is a pole of order something, or it is a removable singularity, or it is an essential singularity. Right? These three conditions, these three terms we have to see. Let f of z equal to e to the power z, and we want to express this term in the power series expansion about z equal to 1. So let it is summation for as ez e to the power z is analytic everywhere. So therefore this has a Taylor series expansion, and that is for all n greater than or equal to 0, an z minus 1 to the power n, where an can be written as or can be found as nth derivative of f at 1 upon n factorial. Now we know that nth derivative of f of z is e to the power z again. So a0 is nothing but 0th derivative of f at 1 upon n factorial. So f0, 0th derivative. There is no derivative, means here this derivative. So f of 1 is what? E to the power 1 upon 0 factorial. 0 factorial is 1. E to the power 1 is e. F of 1 is e. What is a1? a1 is, or nth is what? an. If n at 1, if n at z is e to the power z. So if n at 1, this is not 0. If n at 1 is also again e upon n factorial. So an is e upon n factorial. So a0 is e, a1 is e, a2 is e upon 2 factorial, a3 is e upon 3 factorial, and so on. And therefore your f1z becomes 1 upon z minus 1 to the power 4 into summation for all n greater than or equal to 0, an z minus 1 to the power n. Now 1 upon z minus 1 to the power 4 summation over all positive non-negative n is what? E upon n factorial z minus 1 to the power n. because an is what? E upon n factorial. Now, if I take n is equal to 0, you will get first term as e upon 0 factorial into z minus 1 to the power 0, means only we get e here. So that term becomes 1 upon z minus 1 to the power 4 into e. So e upon z minus 1 to the power 4. Second term becomes e upon z minus 1 to the power 3, because this will have z minus 1 to the power 1 upon z minus 1 to the power 4. Then third term, next term becomes e upon 2 factorial z minus 1 square. Z minus 1 square. Then next will be e upon 3 factorial z minus 1. Then next will be e upon 4 factorial. Nothing will be there. E upon, so next term is e upon 3 factorial z minus 1 plus e upon 4 factorial only plus e upon 5 factorial. Now here we get z minus 1 plus e upon 6 factorial z minus 1 square, and so on. This will happen for mod z minus 1 greater than 0. What means this? What about negative powers of z? These are the 4 terms of negative powers of z. And what is the power of here? 4. Therefore, this has a finite principal part. This expansion has finite principal part about in the Lorentz series expansion about z equal to 1, in which the highest power of this z minus 1 in the denominator is 4, and therefore we can say that this function has a pole of order 4 at z equal to 1, has a pole of order 4 at z equal to 1. Thus, principal part is finite, therefore f1z has a pole of order 4 at z equal to 1. Suppose f2z is there. The same way we will take f2z. And denominator is what? Z raised to m. Therefore, this function has singularity at z equal to 0. Therefore, we find the type of singularity at z equal to 0. So, we first of all, we will express this function in the power in the Taylor series expansion about z equal to 0. So 1 upon z raised to m into 1 minus z raised to n into 1 plus z square by 2 factorial plus up to plus z raised to n by n factorial, z raised to n plus 1 upon n factorial, and so on, for mod z strictly greater than 0. So this happens for z not equal to 0. Therefore f2 of z equal to, now here 1 minus z to the power n. So that can be written in this way also. E to the power z upon z raised to m minus z raised to n e to the power z upon z raised to m. That is 1 upon z raised to m. First e to the power is z. Second is this one. Right? Same thing, only expansion we have taken. So if we take 1 upon z raised to m common, you get these terms 1 plus z square by 2 factorial plus up to plus z raised to n by n factorial, n plus 1 upon n plus 1 factorial plus. Now the terms are minus because we have taken z raised to m common. So minus z raised to n minus z raised to n plus 1 minus z raised to n plus 2 upon 2 factorial and so on. So 1 upon z raised to m into 1 plus z plus, so this in whole we get 1, then z square by 2 factorial and plus so on. So f2 of z has a pole of order m if m greater than n. If m greater than n. Why? Because 1 upon z raised to m is there. So the coefficient of this is highest. So it contains principal part. So so f2 of z has a pole of order m if m greater than n. Similarly, this example is also there. If we consider the Lorentz series expansion, we'll get this term minus infinity to minus 1 z raised to k plus this one is 1. The first series converges for mod z greater than 1, while second for mod z less than 2. So this is also example where we can find the pole. Now what about here? Negative powers of z is there, and here positive powers of z is there. So observe that the first series converges for mod z greater than 1. We know this because this is your 1 by z series. It is 1 by z. While the second for mod z less than 2. This is for mod z less than 2. Why we can write this is minus k is equal to 1 to infinity 1 by z raised to k. That is 1 by z to the power k, and we know that this series converges for only summation for x to the power n converges for mod x less than 1. And so 1 by x less than 1. So x mod x greater than 1. That's why mod z greater than 1 is there. And for second also, that second can be written as z by 2 to the power k of the type. 1 upon 2 into 2 to the power k is ak. So again it converges, radius of convergence we can find 1 by 2 and r is equal to 2 is there. Okay, it's, or you can just simply z by 2 to the power k you can use. So z by 2 to the power mod z by 2 is greater than 1. That means mod z is less than 2 is there. Then the combined series converges for this annulus 1 greater than mod z less than 2, because it is great. This series converges for all mod z greater than 1 and this for all mod z less than 2. So whole series converges for 1 less than mod z less than 2. Okay, here f of z is 1 by z upon 1 minus 1 by z plus 1 by 2 upon 1 minus 2 by z. This expansion can be written as, for what this is, 1 by z to the power k or 1 by z to the power k can be written as 1 by z upon 1 minus 1 by z, and this 1 by z by 1 by 2 z by 2 to the power k can be written as 1 by z upon 1 minus z by 2. That is, if I solve this, you will get z minus 1, 2 minus z, that z minus 2 becomes, so minus 1 upon z minus 2 into z minus 1. Now this, what about this? This f of z has a singularity at z equal to 1 also and at z equal to 2 also. So observe that, again observe that this Lorentz series has infinite number of negative powers of z. Therefore we can say that it has essential singularity at z equal to 0. Essential singularity at z equal to 0. But since the region of convergence of given Lorentz series does not include the deleted neighborhood of origin, so f of z has not essential singularity at z equal to 0, because in this region 0 is not there. So for this region at z equal to 0 it has essential singularity, but for this region it has not essential singularity. It's a singularity at z equal to 2 and z equal to 1. In fact, the limit function f has a simple poles at z equal to 1 and z equal to 2. So given function has a simple poles at z equal to 1 as well as z equal to 2, because other than z equal to 1 and z equal to 2, it is analytic everywhere. Why it is happening like that? So limit of this function f of z into z minus 1 exists, as well as limit of the same function into z minus 2 also exists. Therefore it has a pole of order 1 at z equal to 1. It has a pole of order 1 at z equal to 2. So we can't say that it, no doubt it has essential singularity at z equal to 0, but in this region it is not there, and therefore it has a pole of simple poles at z equal to 1 and z equal to 2. We have next example, f of z is z minus a to the power 2004 sine of 1 upon z minus b. Then we may write f of z as in this way, adding b and subtracting b here, and this sine function is, we know that sine z is expansion, sine z as expansion z minus z cube by 3 factorial plus z raised to 5 by 5 factorial and so on. It is summation from k equal to 1 to n minus 1 raised to k minus 1, and what about then z to the power, yes, divided by 2k minus 1 factorial z to the power 2k minus 1. Only odd powers of z are there. So sine of 1 upon z minus b as in this way. So minus 1 to the power k plus 1 k minus 1 upon 1 upon into 1 upon 2k minus 1 factorial z minus b to the power 2k minus 1. So z equal to b is an essential singularity, because this contains infinite number of negative terms of negative powers of z minus b. So z equal to b is an essential singularity, because k equal to 1, this will be 1, k equal to 2, negative power 2, negative power 3, and infinite number of terms will be there. So the principal part is infinite, therefore it has essential singularity. There are many more examples which can be expressed in the form of Lorentz series expansion. So z into e to the power 1 by z square has a Lorentz series expansion of this type containing no principal part, and therefore it has a no principal part not. There are infinite number of negative powers of z. Therefore it has essential singularity at z equal to 0. Similarly, f of z equal to e to the power minus 1 by z, that z equal to 0 is the singularity, which is isolated singularity, and if we express that term in the powers of or expansion, so you will get this type of terms 1 minus 1 by z plus 1 by 2 factorial z square and so on. So negative powers are increasing and increasing there. So there are infinite number of terms in the principal part, and therefore this function has essential singularity at z equal to 0. Essential singularity at z equal to 0. Similarly, if I take f of z equal to sine of 1 by z, that can be expressed. It has again is negative number of infinite number of terms in the principal part, therefore essential singularity at 0. Similarly, cos 1 by z also has essential singularity at z equal to 0. If sine raised to 4z upon z raised to 8, 1 by z raised to 8 taken common, sine z to the power 4. This is for sine z and it's raised to 4. So first term of z to the power 4 becomes, and here it is z to the power 8. If I multiply, then highest negative power becomes 1 upon z to the power 4, and this becomes 1. So 1 upon z to the power 4, and this first term has 1 and remaining terms containing z to the power 6 and more powers of z. Therefore, this has finite part because this as this increases and z to the power 4 constant. So after some times, first term will be 1 upon z to the power 4, second term will be something upon z raised to 3, third term will be something upon z raised to 2 and so on. So, and then we'll go for z raised to 1, z raised to 2, z raised to 3 positive powers. So analytic part must be there, and in the principal part only 4 terms will be there, and highest power of 1 by z raised to 4 is, that is 4, and therefore fz has a pole of order 4 at z equal to 0. Okay, so we have this one example also there, 1 plus z into cos z upon z. So you have taken 1 plus z upon z common. This is the expansion of cos z. Then multiplying first by 1 by z, so we get 1 plus z into 1 by z minus z by 2 factorial and so on. That is dividing by z to all these. Then multiplying by 1 plus z to each of these terms, we get 1 into 1 by z plus 1 minus z by 2 factorial. So only there is only one term of negative power of z, which is 1 by z, isn't it? And all other terms are positive. So there exists only one term, and therefore f of z has a pole of order 1 at z equal to 0. So in this way, we can obtain the what type of singularity is there, what type of isolated singularity is there, whether it is removable singularity or pole of some order or essential singularity So Lorentz series has tremendous application to obtain the type of singularity of given function, So for a while we will stop here, and the remaining part in next lecture will go.